Hey there, I'm Dr. Deb, Department Chair, Learning Frameworks Instructor, and Lifelong Learner. And this is the third video in the series of transition issues that new college students often face. In today's video, I'm exploring the issue of additional responsibilities that often come with the decision to attend college. These responsibilities include communicating and transacting college business by email or computer, your grades and assignments, and your classes and scheduling them with advisors. In addition to these new responsibilities, I will also introduce the Learning Theory Grit by Angela Duckworth, the Learning Strategy of Dual Coding, the Active Involvement Principle of actively listening and taking notes, and the professionalism topic of work ethic. Victoria College's Total Learning Center presents Dr. Deb Explains. Transition issue number 3, responsibilities. Many of you already have responsibilities, whether these are family, chores, your full-time job, etc. And now you are adding additional responsibilities that you may not have considered when you signed up for college. Unfortunately, none of your previous responsibilities go away, so you're just adding on to the ones that you already have. Some of these new responsibilities center around communication with the college, your grades and assignments, and your actual classes. Whether you like computers and technology or not, Victoria College and most other institutions conduct the majority of its business via the computer and technology. All of the communications that you receive will be sent to your student email, which is different from your Canvas inbox, so you have to check it regularly. Communication regarding deadline dates and opportunities for students will also be in Pirate Portal. So you should develop a habit of checking these areas quite frequently, at least once a week. This also means that you can conduct most of your business via Pirate Portal as well. So you can change your address, add or drop classes, and communicate with various departments on campus from the comfort of your own home. Unlike high school, your professors are not going to remind you of upcoming due dates and assignments. It is your responsibility to monitor the syllabus and Canvas so that you are aware of what is due and when it is due. You are also responsible for seeking help before the due date. If you try to submit an assignment and Canvas isn't working, it's your responsibility to contact the help desk and try to resolve the issue. If you need assistance with an assignment, you are responsible for going to tutoring and getting that help. And after an assignment is completed, you are responsible for checking your grades and knowing where you stand in the class. You should always know your current grade so that you can make educated decisions about your classes and assignments. This may involve simply looking in Canvas, contacting your instructors for updates, or manually calculating your grade for yourself. In high school, guidance counselors usually schedule classes and tell students what they will take and when they will take them. At work, your boss usually tells you where you will be working. In college, however, you are responsible for registering for your classes and registering for the correct classes each semester. The advisors are there to help you if you need it, but you will only have classes if you take the steps needed to register for them. So let's talk about grit. Grit is what allows you to push through when things get difficult. You've heard the expression, when the going gets tough, the tough get going? That's grit. So imagine that you're in week 4 of a new semester in college. You have 3 exams and a paper due this week. You are stressed to the max, and your boss asks you to take on an additional project at work. What do? Do you hunker down and get the jobs done that need to be done? Or do you throw in the towel and quit? Your reaction shows if you have grit or not. And how does this relate to our transition issue of responsibilities? You are going to be doing more and are responsible for more now, just as we said before. Things aren't going to be easy. Earning your college degree is hard. If it were easy, everyone would have one. It's those who truly want it enough to work through the hard times that earn that degree. These are the students with grit. When the responsibilities pile on and the work gets tough, these students push through and accomplish what needs to be done. Dual coding is a term used for words and visuals. It is a process of encoding information into the brain from two different and distinct areas at the same time. We process information visually, pictures, in one part of our brain, and auditory information, words, in a different part. So if we encode the information from both parts of the brain at the same time, we have a better chance of remembering that information. So how does this work in real life? There are several ways to utilize dual coding when you are studying. First, if you are watching a lecture like this one, the sound of my voice is the auditory tract. Turn on the closed captioning and read the words that I am saying while you are listening to them. The closed captioning is the visual track. Listening and reading the words at the same time dual encodes the information in your brain. Another way to utilize this strategy is when you are reading a textbook. In the margins, draw pictures of the words that you read. This gives you the visual, the picture, and the written word is processed in a separate area. Or, if given a picture, write the actual words that the picture is saying right next to it. How does this help with responsibilities? Let's face it, you have a lot to do. Anything that makes your learning easier and quicker is better for you, so that you can focus on the learning and taking care of your responsibilities at the same time. This leads directly into active listening and note-taking. Part of Cusio's active involvement principle, this step involves actively listening and taking notes while in class, reading a chapter, or listening to a lecture video or WebEx conference. Here are a few tips for actively listening and taking notes. Don't try to write down everything that is said. Your brain cannot listen and take notes at the same time. Instead, only write down key words. For example, if the lecture is on the Big Bang Theory, just write Big Bang Theory in your notes and leave space. You can fill in the details later based on what you remember from the lecture or from the textbook. This allows you to actively focus on listening to the instructor's explanation of the Big Bang Theory, connecting the material you hear with what you already know, questioning the information presented, summarizing it, etc. The second method is to just listen. This may scare you a bit, as you may be worried that you'll forget something. However, just listen and actively interact with the material in your head. Then, as soon as class is over, take a few minutes and do a brain dump. Write down everything that you remember from the lecture. Leave blanks where you forget things, and fill these blanks in later from the textbook. Work ethic is caring about the work and the job that you do because it has intrinsic value for you. This means that you want to do a good job on your assignments, not just because of the grade that you will receive, but because you care about the work that you do and you want to do it well. What would that actually look like? In most cases, it is doing assignments and making sure that they are of high quality, that you have followed the directions, that you have taken the time to proofread your work for errors, and that the assignment is done on time and not at the last minute, which doesn't allow for these quality control measures. How does this help with responsibilities? College is now your job. These responsibilities are part of that job. Are you just doing them to get by till graduation? Or are you doing them because they have value to you? Your response and attention to your responsibilities shows your work ethic. They indicate what you really care about and if your heart is really in what you are doing. If you want to know more about transition issues new college students often face, stay tuned for more as Dr. Deb explains.